Hello and welcome to the second part in my basic overview of how you can use the Nagios Discovery Tool for Windows. In the first part, I took you through the very simple and quick setup installation for the tool, and how you can basically get it onto your local machine that you want to use as your management machine. In this part, what I'd like to take you through is how you can use the tool in conjunction with Nagios Core to monitor your first Windows host. So if we have a quick look at my Nagios Core installation, you'll see that it's very basic. It's only got the local host, which is put in by default when you set up Nagios Core. What it has got, and this is very important for you guys out there to understand, is that a number of the custom service checks, such as checking Exchange database replication, indexes, etc., are custom commands within the commands.cfg file, which have been covered in my ongoing series on www.telnetport25.com. So, in order for some of the service check to work that's supplied with the Nagios Discovery Tool, you need to have followed those tutorials to configure those command files. So as said, I'd like to show you how you can use the tool to monitor your hosts or a host on your local network. So the first thing that we want to do is bring down the the Windows.cfg file from your Nagios Core server for editing locally on your machine. So do that using FileZilla. And again, the use and setup of FileZilla is covered in the series on telnetport25.com. Select my Nagios server and navigate to the location where the configuration file is stored, which is typically in USR, local, Nagios, etc. objects, and it's the windows.cfg. So we bring this down to a location on our local machine, appears there, and what we do within the Nagios Discovery Tool, we go to the current Nagios configuration file, click open, select it. As you can see, there are no hosts in there. And moving on, we now want to scan our network ranges to find out what hosts are available. So we do this by going to Tools, Scan Network Ranges, and IP address from is obviously the starting range, starting IP, and 2 is the end of the range where you want to have a look. When you're done, click Scan. As you can see, the host located window populates with the hosts that are found in that range. Click Done. And what we'll do here is we'll set up monitoring for prod dc-01 prepad.local. So when you select that host, in the host data area, you'll see that the host name auto-populates, as does the IP address. Host description, what we want to do here is it's a 2008 standard domain controller, x32. And what we can do here is click on, after we've populated these values, we click on add host, and you'll see now that the definition for that domain controller is now within the configuration file. We now want to add some service monitoring to this. So it's a Windows server, so we click add service on Windows Basic, and you'll see that the service, the basic check NT services and other stuff that's important to Windows is added. And we know that it's a domain controller, so we can add in Active Directory service monitors. And down the bottom you'll see that we've got all of the services relevant to Active Directory being monitored, and it's part of a multi-domain controller configuration, so let's add in the replication monitors as well. Now that we're happy with our Nagios configuration file, click Save, overwrite, and what we now do is we go back to FileZilla and we drag the configuration file back over to the Nagios server. Click OK. Now what we want to do is restart the Nagios services. So we need to connect to our Nagios core box. which I'm doing so via PuTTY. Again, the use of PuTTY is covered in the articles. And the restart will check that your configuration is valid. Hopefully it will be. And now if we head back to our Nagios Core website, you'll see that our host is now present. And if we do a look at the service detail, we will see that a number of checks are pending. After about 5 minutes, you'll see the checks will be carried out by Nagios, and we're in a good position here because we can see that we're all green on the boards. Okay, so now we want to add in another host to our configuration. So we'll go back to here, go back to the Nagios tool, Discovery Tool, and let's add in DCO2. Select its operating system. We'll click Add. You'll notice down the bottom of the file, the host definition is added in right after your first one. And we want to monitor Windows Basic, Active Directory Service Monitors, and Active Directory Replication Monitors again. We go back and we click Save, replace our existing file, upload it to Nagios, restart the Nagios services, back into our web interface, do a refresh on the hosts, and we'll see that DCO2 has now appeared and has a number of pending checks as well. Okay, so that is a very quick whistle-stop tour of how you can get basic monitoring set up for Windows hosts, and in this case domain controllers. What I intend to cover in the next part is give you an overview of some of the advanced settings of the tool. For example, how you can customize the Nagios command checks definition file, and that interacts an awful lot with the XML files that are supplied with the product. So I hope that you found this useful, and we'll be speaking to you very soon. Thank you.